Why violence is necessary but very much ill-advised. All right, understand something. Okay, we're living in 2022. All right, so we're not in a world where people are struggling to eat like they used to be, where um, where famine is taking place like it used to, where diseases are running rampant like they used to. Okay, this is not, yeah, we may have tribalism within politics, but for the most part, we don't have actual tribalism. We don't have tribes. We don't have to worry about our known tribe getting ransacked and pillaged by the nearest neighboring tribe. You understand? And with all the tools out there and the ability to learn and grow, there's no need for violence. But why is it necessary? Well, it's necessary because you do have an overwhelming segment of this planet that really reside within the lower realms of consciousness. You have different levels of consciousness. The higher up you are, the less prone you're going to be to violence. The lower down you are, the more tribal, more impulsive, more violent you're going to tend to be. You can obviously research this. Spiral dynamics is the study of human psychological development over a very, very extended period of time. And yes, I need to read up more on it myself, so I'm just spitballing based on what I remember. But look, in terms of violence, the necessary aspect is certain people at certain levels of consciousness not knowing any better. And even the people that are committed violence against at these lower levels, they don't even expect any different. It's just the way that things are depending on where those people, happen to live. There are levels of consciousness out there where all you would understand in terms of effective communication is violence. You're not going to have diplomacy. You're not going to have, sit-down conversations and a shared interest in trying to understand the other party. Sometimes violence, I'm not even going to say sometimes, at the lower levels of consciousness, violence is just their necessary tactic. But in the United States, for even the average human, a person who's not really higher consciousness, but just the average human, in the US, violence is not a resort you really want to go to at all. In fact, at the highest levels of consciousness, you really, this is something that I haven't even begun to integrate. So I'm not going to front like, I'm at this level at all. But, Gandhi very much preached this type of philosophy, the idea that you would surrender to an opposing party even at wartime and allow an army to slaughter your army, and your defense is no defense. The idea behind this is to make the other side get so sick and disgusted of slaughter, especially by the idea by the experience of slaughtering people who are not raising a weapon to you. You put your hands down, you turn the other cheek, and you allow yourself to get killed by the other army, because eventually that other side is just going to be disgusted. That deep God essence that is in all of us, I believe, would eventually get tapped into from that opposing, side that is attacking the defenseless at wartime. Now, I don't know how long this would have to go on and on and on and on before that side, the side that's slaughtering this defenseless army, gets sick of it. I don't know how long it has to go on before the other side becomes peaceful as a result of being so sick of committing so much slaughter. I can't attest to that. It does make sense logically, but based on the unbelievably long time horizon, which I surmise it would be in terms of turning that other slaughtering side into a more peaceful army, because I don't know that time horizon, it seems like that could go on forever and ever, and then one side just is taking it like, taking it like punks. I mean, that's kind of how I would look at it in a sense, based on where my level of consciousness is. I'm not at some high level where, I could fully embrace that. And I don't think that other side would actually be punks at all. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying it would just be a hard thing if I were on that, that if I were part of the army that had made a decision that we're going to turn the other cheek and we're going to allow this army to come in and just slaughter us because we're so committed to nonviolence. There would just be that animalistic part of me that has not yet been eliminated from within with my consciousness work that would want to fight back, because it's like, oh, you're not gonna punk me like this. But at the same time, that's that's a lower consciousness aspect of me speaking. At the highest levels of consciousness, you are not afraid of death. So this is it's a tricky topic. I may bring it up again, in the future, but it's a fascinating one as well. It's something that's spoken about in Yogananda's autobiography, The Autobiography of a Yogi, which is a phenomenal book. How many times have I read it? I think I've read it 3 or 4 times. I'm going to read it again soon. But yeah, so ultimately, I think today, if someone's attacking you physically, fight back. Unless it's like your kid or something. Fight back. Unless it's like a really old woman or old man who can barely move, fight back. Like, okay, that's where we're at. I'm just talking about, I'm giving you a sense of what it looks like at the very highest levels of consciousness. And it might sound psychotic to some people, but if you are a person who really can just put your hands down, no matter the brutality that might be brought upon you in the name of nonviolence, then no, you are nowhere a punk, you are nowhere weak. You're at a level of strength and consciousness that is so far ahead that it's even my mind, and I am deep into this shit, even my mind, it's very, very hard for me to grasp. It's amazing. You're one of the very strongest humans on this planet, if that's the case. All right, I'm done. I'm out. Talk to you later.